Alright, yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Phantom here today, bringing you guys another video. Today, I got some really good news, some really awesome news that I have actually been waiting to hear from somebody for a very long time. I actually got my hands on what the race rankings, what the racial stats are for all the races in Xenoverse 2. I got the information on what they are. I got my hands on the information. And I've been looking all over YouTube, looking all over Google. I've been looking, like, seeing who's posted it. Who's been posting information. No one's posting information, so I feel like I got my information. I'm gonna go ahead and post it because this is pretty key information when it comes to making new characters in Xenoverse, making a character. And I'm excited. I actually looked over them, and a lot of things are different this time around in Xenoverse 2. Sometimes some things are still the same, but there's a lot of different things that I wasn't really expecting to see. I was actually kind of surprised at how they changed it for the races, for specific races. And I think it's awesome. So without further ado, I'm not going to sit here and talk. I'm going to go ahead and get the video started, guys. Give you guys the basic rundown, the basic explanation, and just a breakdown of all the race rankings in Xenoverse 2. Alright, so we're going to start off with the male Saiyans. The male Saiyans, they actually changed quite a bit, actually, and I think that's great. I actually really like how they changed the male Saiyans, but I'm not gonna talk too much about it. Let's just go ahead and get the rankings in. The male Saiyans have they still have the 5th highest health from Xenoverse 1. They still have the 5th highest health, so their health is the 5th, which it's kind of low. It's pretty low, actually. I'm not sure if it was the 4th or 5th in Xenoverse 1, but it was in that area, so they're still in that area, of course. They still have kind of low health. Of course, guys, you know what to expect. They got the highest basic attack, the highest melee damage. Basic attack is still #1 for the male Saiyan. That has not changed at all. Pretty sure that wasn't going to change at all, actually. It'd be stupid if they changed that one. But here's where they really changed it. If you guys remember in Xenoverse 1, male Saiyans literally had the crappiest base stats out of all the races. But guess what? In Xenoverse 2, they have, for strikes, they have the 4th highest strikes. The 4th highest strikes. That's awesome. In Xenoverse 1, they had the lowest strikes. They have the 4th highest strikes now. And that's actually great. It gives male Saiyan, they actually gave male Saiyans a bit more variety now. And the same goes for their Ki Blast supers as well. Their Ki Blast supers are also the 4th highest. So their strikes and Ki Blast supers are they're both the 4th highest out of all the races. So they have the 5th highest health. They have the 1st, of course, basic attack, and 4th highest Ki Blast and strikes. That's actually awesome. Male Saiyans actually they got a big buff in Xenoverse 2, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people wanted, so that's good. Alrighty, now on to the female Saiyans. I'm not gonna lie, the Saiyans got buffed a lot. It's pretty awesome though. It's pretty awesome. Their stats are looking really good. So the female Saiyans have the 6th highest health. They have they have the 6th highest health. It's still pretty low, kinda, but it's a little bit more higher than it was in Xenoverse 1. So I guess that's pretty good. They have the 8th basic attack out of all the races. They have the lowest out of all the races still. So their basic attack they kind of still punch kind of soft. But I don't know, man. When I was online fighting some female Saiyans, they was punching the hell out of me, and they was doing a lot of damage. So I'm not sure if that even matters, honestly. But now here's where it gets good. They have the 3rd highest strikes. The 3rd highest strikes. So in Xenoverse 1, sorry, they had the 2nd highest strikes out of all the races. They have the 3rd highest now, so it's kind of still in that range. So that hasn't really changed much, but they now have the 1st highest Ki Blast out of all the races. Now they have the 1st highest Ki Blast damage, so they have the 3rd highest strikes and the 1st highest Ki Blast damage. So I feel it seems like female Saiyans are kind of still that little hybrid zone. You know, you can kind of do both with a female Saiyan. You could be a striker or a Ki Blaster, or just do both, because their rankings are still pretty solid in that area. It seems like they're up there pretty good with that, so that's pretty good. All right, now we got the male Earthlings. We're in the Earthlings now. We're gonna start with the male Earthling, of course. The male Earthlings, they still have the 3rd highest health amongst all the races, so that didn't change at all. Their health, the Earthlings' health. The Earthlings in general, their health is still pretty good. They're still in a pretty good range. Now this is where it gets kind of surprising. I actually am pretty surprised about this. They kind of nerfed Male Earthlings in this category. They have now the 5th highest basic attack. They have the 5th highest. Male Earthlings have the 5th highest now. Now they nerfed Male Earthling basic attack quite a bit actually. Xenoverse 1 they had the 2nd highest, right behind the Male Saiyan. Now they're in the 5th place, so they're kind of like in between, a little low actually. So that's actually pretty surprising. I'm pretty shocked about that one. Strikes, of course, Male Earthlings still dominate that, superior, with coming in at 1st highest strikes. Of course, that didn't change. So Male Earthling still got the rocking that high strike damage. But Ki Blastings with a Male Earthling, I'm actually kind of upset they did this with the Male Earthlings. They have the 7th highest Ki Blast damage for Male Earthlings, so they're actually really low in Ki Blast. So it seems like Male Earthlings now are pretty much going to be just striking, which I guess they were kind of meant to be in Xenoverse 1, but you know, Male Earthlings, you could be a bunch of stuff in Xeno 1, it didn't even matter, Earthlings period. But now, you know, they kind of nerfed Male Earthlings quite a bit actually, so that's pretty surprising. Alrighty, now we got the female Earthlings. Now the female Earthlings, they're coming in health. They're coming in still, of course, like the Male Earthlings, still having pretty good health. They have the 4th highest health. That has not changed from Xenoverse 1 as well. The 4th highest health still for the female Earthlings. Now, okay, I'm pretty shocked about this one too, because I was playing on my female Earthling and I wasn't expecting this, but they have the 7th highest melee damage. They're right above the female Saiyans. So they hit pretty soft actually. They have the 7th highest melee, so basic attack is at 7 out of all the races. I'm pretty shocked about this. I'm a little bummed out too, but it's kind of wild. I don't think I noticed it that much. Kind of like I said, the female Saiyans. I'm not sure if I really noticed it that much, because when I was on my female Earthling, I was punching pretty hard. I mean, so I don't know. And then we got the strikes. Now this is actually a bummer. I'm actually kind of upset about this. They have the lowest strikes out of all the races. The female Earthlings, they're at 8. They have the 8th lowest, or 8th highest, or whatever. I'm actually a little bummed about this. I was planning on making a strike female Earthling. I still may, honestly, but I'm pretty bummed that their strikes is that got that low. They had the 4th highest in Xenoverse 1. So they really put it down in this one. So I mean, I guess it's okay though. They're still at the top when it comes to Ki Blast. Now they're at 2nd highest Ki Blast damage. At this time, they're right below the female Saiyans. So they have the 2nd highest Ki Blast damage this time, not the 1st. According to my friend Breezy though, they're pretty. It seems like it's the Saiyan females and the Earthling females are pretty much tied when it comes to Ki Blast damage. So I think they're both kind of at number 1, because I mean, according to this spreadsheet right here, the damage is pretty much equivalent with each other. So I guess they have number 1, number 2 Ki Blast damage. So you know, it's still high. So that's all that really matters. The Ki Blast damage is definitely still high. So female Earthling Ki Blast is still going to be a thing. All right, so now we got the big boys. Big old Majin. Male Majins, of course, they have, of course, still the 1st highest health. That has not changed. They still got the most health, the most tankiest. Of course, that's pretty good that didn't change. When it comes to their melee basic attack damage, they're ranking at 6. So that hasn't changed as well either. They're still at 6 when it comes to basic attack, which is kind of low. Right below the male Earthling. Right in between the female Earthling. It's kind of funny. It's a fat Majin, but I don't know. And then we got strike damage. The male Majin strike damage is at 5. It's at the 5th highest, so that's kind of still in between there. That's kind of still in between with the male Majin damage, which I guess is decent at best. And then the Ki Blast damage is at 6, so that's also still not different from Xenoverse 1. So the male Majins haven't really changed a bit from Xenoverse 1 when it comes to their stats. It seems like their main focus is really just going to be that health, taking that damage, honestly. That's what their real focus is going to be. I mean, I think that's good they didn't make them like OP in damage, because I mean, they already don't take damage. They can't dish out a million points of damage too. That'd be fucking broken. But I guess that's pretty good for the male Majin. Alrighty, now we got the female Majins. The female Majin stats are actually real. It surprised me the most. They changed their stats a lot. So the female Majins are rocking the seventh highest health. So it's pretty low right now. It was 6 in Xenoverse 1, now it's 7. So female Majins don't have a lot of health, so I recommend putting a good amount of health in your female Majin. Their health is pretty low. But their basic attack damage is at 4, which is pretty good. It's right above the male Earthling, which is pretty darn good. So their basic attack damage is at 4. Number 4, they hit pretty good. Now here's what got me. Their strike supers have been buffed considerably. They are the second highest in strike supers, which in strike damage. They're right under the male Earthlings. This actually surprised me a lot. You know, this is awesome. So female Majin's got a little strike damage going. They're competing with male Earthlings, which is pretty cool actually. But this is really what got me, honestly. I was really shocked about this when making my character. They have the lowest Ki Blast damage. They have 8 in Ki Blast. And I was actually very bummed out about this, because my first female Majin in Xenoverse 1 was a Ki Blaster. And I was really thinking they weren't going to change that. They had the 3rd highest in Xenoverse 1, now they have the lowest. Female Majins are basically really going to be strikers from in Xenoverse 2, it seems like. Which is good, I guess, but I'm a little bummed out that Ki Blast damage got nerfed like that. Alrighty, now we got the Friezas. The Frieza stats have actually been changed quite a lot, actually. So they're rocking the lowest health amongst all the races. They have the 8th highest health. Now Frieza's always had low health, but I believe in Xenoverse 2 it was about 5. Now their health is at 8. They're lower than the female Saiyans and the female Majins, which honestly I'm kind of not understanding why their health is that low. I mean, I don't know. They're supposed to be, they're Friezas. I don't see why their health is that low, but I mean, it's whatever, honestly. Their melee damage is 2nd highest, so they're right under the male Saiyans, which is pretty good. They have extremely high melee. They were 3rd in Xenoverse 1, now they're 2nd. Which makes a lot. It makes sense when you think about Dragon Ball Z. You think about Saiyans and Arcosians and Friezas. And, you know, they hit pretty hard out of all the races, so that's pretty good. Strike Supers, they're gonna be ranked 6th in Strike Supers, so it's kind of low, a little bit low for the Friezas. Strike Supers aren't really gonna be their thing, I guess. But here's what shocked me: the Ki Blasts. They're now more of Ki Blasters than anything. They have the 3rd highest Ki Blast Supers out of all the races. And to make a good point, when they go golden form, this gets increased a lot actually, which I noticed in the playing the game. Whenever I go golden form, my Ki Blasts do a lot of damage. So Friezas are more lean toward being Ki Blasters now, which kind of makes sense actually when you think about Frieza. Frieza never was really a fighting character. He was more of just a throw beams at you the whole fight character. So this makes sense pretty much for the Friezas. I like it. Alright, and last but not least, we got the Namekians. The Namekians now, of course, they have the 2nd highest health. Still has not changed from Xenoverse 1. That's pretty good. They got the health regen on lockdown, cannot mess with that. They got the 3rd highest basic attack damage now, which is actually pretty awesome. They're right below the male Saiyans and the Friezas. So when you think about, Dragon Ball Z, you got the Namekians, and they actually are pretty up there when it comes to basic attack damage, which is pretty cool. And then we got their Strike Supers, which is 7th highest, which is pretty low. But this is pretty much what it was in Xenoverse 1, so, when I fought them making online, I didn't really notice that much of a difference, though. I mean, it's low compared to, maybe a Mare Earthling, but it still does pretty good damage, honestly. You got the Ki Blast. Their Ki Blast damage is going to be ranked 5th. They have number 5 ranked 5th in Ki Blast damage, which is, I guess, pretty average, pretty decent overall. Nothing too OP, pretty kind of in between really for the most part. So the Namekians are pretty decent for the most part. Alrighty, and now that is going to be all the race stats and race rankings in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. My overall opinion, I actually like the way they changed it up a lot. They actually seem like they made it make more sense in terms of Dragon Ball. Making the Friezas and the male Saiyans do the most basic attack damage for the most part. Making basically the female Earthling. The females kinda do less basic attack damage, but for some reason the female Majin hits like a truck. The female Majin hits more than the male Majin, but that's actually kind of funny. But you know, overall, they kind of make sense when it comes towards you know, Dragon Ball Z lore. So I like this a lot, guys. I'm gonna link my source down below, and of course, I give all my credit to XX Breezy BX, one of my good friends. He gave me this information. I get a shout out to him. I'm gonna link his channel in the description below, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and definitely, and check you guys later.
We ain't dead yet.